always get my teammates open and set them up for success. And I think I've been able to find that through the first 2 days of, that's always something I can rely on.
Caitlin Clark just told us about setting up her teammates, which she's always been good at. But off the court, she's once again the main topic of conversation. This time, it's not about her amazing plays, but brand new footage of Caitlin with her rumored boyfriend. It's absolutely everywhere online. Fans are totally stunned. The internet is buzzing, and everyone is dying to know who this mystery guy is. Could this be the start of a whole new chapter for her? Caitlin isn't just a basketball player anymore. She's a cultural phenomenon. In just a couple of years, her name exploded into headlines and highlight reels. She didn't just join women's sports, she completely transformed it. Her presence alone brings in massive crowds, boosts viewership, and finally makes people pay attention to women's basketball. But that kind of spotlight doesn't just stay on the court, it follows her everywhere. And when you live in that much light, even the most private parts of your life become impossible to hide. That's exactly what's going on right now. Social media isn't just looking at Caitlin's game. It's truly obsessed with her personal life. Fans are dissecting every single clue now. Every Instagram story, every background detail in photos, and everyone she's spotted with. It's gone way past simple curiosity. It's a full-blown investigation. There are entire threads and TikTok breakdowns dedicated to her off-court life, with people acting like detectives trying to solve a puzzle she's never even said exists. But here's what's so fascinating. Caitlin has always been super careful about her private life. During her time at Iowa, she poured everything into basketball, and that focus totally paid off. Right? She became the face of women's college basketball, shattering records and redefining what a superstar looks like. Even back then, rumors about her dating life would pop up sometimes, but she never confirmed or even addressed them. It was like she built a protective wall around her personal world, keeping it safe while the rest of her life played out in public. Honestly, you have to respect that. Imagine being in your early 20s, your face everywhere on national TV, idolized by young fans and criticized by others, all while chasing history on the court. Wanting to keep just one part of your life for yourself isn't secrecy, it's survival. But here's the twist: the bigger she gets, the harder it is to protect those corners of her life. Now that she's in the WNBA, Caitlin's star has gotten even brighter. Her games sell out arenas, her name trends constantly, and she single-handedly drives ticket sales. With that kind of fame, the microscope gets even sharper. Every time she posts on Instagram, fans flood the comments looking for hints. Every time she's photographed in public, someone's ready to upload it, freeze frame it, and zoom in, asking, who's that with her? It's not about her jump shot or her leadership anymore. It's about who she's sitting next to at dinner, who she's tagged with, or who that mystery person walking beside her might be. This is the wild reality of modern fame. Platforms like TikTok and Instagram turn everyday outings into huge viral events. A casual dinner can spark 1,000 theories. One accidental photo can lead to days of speculation. Caitlin literally can't step into a coffee shop, a restaurant, or even a movie theater without the chance of it becoming national news by morning. Phones are always out, cameras are always rolling, and the internet is always hungry for the next viral clip. And when you add romance to the mix, the obsession goes to a whole new level. Fans become full-on investigators. They zoom in on background reflections, study hand placements in blurry videos, and analyze which emoji she used in a caption. Some even track who liked her posts or commented first, building entire narratives from a single double tap. It's almost like a science. This study of love lives through digital breadcrumbs. And believe it or not, these internet detectives are scarily good at it. That's why Caitlin's current situation feels like the perfect storm. She's more famous than ever, more visible than ever. And for someone who's managed to keep her personal life almost completely private, those walls now feel thinner than ever before. The big question isn't just about basketball anymore. It's about what's happening off the court, who she's spending her time with, and what that might mean for her future. All of this leads us right to the moment that has fans glued to their screens, endlessly scrolling and speculating like crazy. Because this isn't just about basketball anymore. It's about something far more personal, a love story playing out beyond the court. But could it really be what everyone thinks? Or is the truth hiding right in plain sight? Stay tuned for more on Caitlin Clark and Connor McCaffrey, a love beyond the court. Caitlin Clark has spent the last few years totally dazzling the world with her long-range shooting, her fiery competitiveness, and her incredible ability to change the entire energy of a basketball game. But now, she's not just making headlines for what she does on the court. Off the court, people are just as captivated by her. It's all thanks to a romance that blends everyday sweetness with the intensity of her superstar lifestyle. At the heart of it all is Connor McCaffrey, a name familiar to Iowa fans and someone who's quietly become one of the most important people in her story. Their connection started in Iowa City, where they both lived the lives of student athletes under constant watch from fans and media. Caitlin was already becoming a national sensation in women's basketball, while Connor made his mark as a steady, reliable player for the Hawkeyes before moving into coaching. What began as a friendship slowly deepened, and by April 2023, they decided to share their relationship publicly. From that moment, the fascination just exploded. Suddenly, it wasn't just Caitlin's step-back threes going viral. It was her relationship too. What has really made fans latch on is how genuine their romance feels. It's not polished or staged. It's not about flashy red carpet appearances or carefully curated photo shoots. Instead, it's the small, unplanned moments that truly resonate. Remember that WNBA All-Star Weekend at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. As Caitlin walked through the tunnel, Connor leaned in for a kiss. She turned her head at the last second, and instead of her lips, he kissed her hair. That clip went everywhere. Some people laughed, some teased, but most just adored it. It was clumsy, tender, and incredibly real. In that moment, fans felt like they weren't watching celebrities. They were watching two people figuring out love in real time. But their story isn't just about awkward sweetness. It's also about mutual support, which feels rare in the glare of professional sports. When Connor took a coaching job at Butler University, Caitlin made sure to show up, proudly wearing Butler gear in the stands. Cameras caught her animated reactions, cheering with joy when his team did well, and looking visibly frustrated when they didn't. That competitive fire fans usually see on the court was redirected into cheering on her partner. At the same time, Connor has been a rock for Caitlin during the roller coaster of her rookie WNBA season. Whether through subtle posts online, quiet gestures courtside, or simply standing with her family, he's a constant reminder that even someone as fiercely independent as Caitlin needs a steady hand to lean on. And get this, one particular moment melted hearts everywhere. During a game where Caitlin couldn't play due to injury, she was spotted cradling one of Connor's young relatives. That image spread instantly, with playful comments like, "Don't get any ideas yet." But underneath the jokes was something powerful, the sight of Caitlin naturally blending into Connor's family, as if she wasn't just his partner, but part of something bigger. That glimpse of warmth and ease just made fans root harder for them. What makes their bond so compelling is the balance. Caitlin is absolutely rocketing toward legendary status. Many are calling her the brightest star the WNBA has ever seen. Connor, meanwhile, is building his own career in coaching. They're on different paths, each with unique pressures, yet they find a way to meet in the middle. Their Instagram posts don't scream celebrity couple, they whisper normalcy. A vacation snapshot here, a casual family game night there. Always understated, never forced, always authentic. And that's what keeps people so invested. It isn't just about watching Caitlin Clark dominate defenses or Connor McCaffrey build his career. It's about watching two young people navigate love while standing in very different kinds of spotlight. The awkward kisses, the sideline cheering, the subtle Instagram tributes, the playful family moments. It all paints a picture of a couple that feels grounded in something real. As Caitlin's fame keeps skyrocketing and the pressure of being the face of women's basketball grows heavier, one question remains for fans and followers everywhere. How will this relationship adapt to even greater attention? What role will Connor play in her story as she keeps breaking barriers? For this basketball icon, could this love become her greatest strength or her biggest challenge? Keep watching. When stardom collides with privacy, Caitlin Clark isn't just another rising star in sports. She has become the face of women's basketball in a way few athletes ever achieve. Every single move she makes sparks a reaction. Whether it's how she dominates on the court, the people she's spotted with, or even the smallest thing she shares on social media, her life has transformed into something much bigger than herself. It's a constant spotlight where fans, critics, and media are all watching closely. For most athletes, this level of attention usually comes later in their careers, after they've already cemented a legacy. But Clark is living through it right now, in real time, while still in her early 20s, and that changes everything. Here's the thing. When you're the biggest name in the WNBA, your world stops being completely your own. Look, the league might be smaller compared to the NBA, but that actually makes news travel even faster. Everybody knows. Everybody. And gossip doesn't just stay behind closed doors. It rockets across basketball circles before exploding onto social media feeds. A single photograph, a quick video, or even a vague post can turn into national headlines within hours. And once the public latches on, there's no slowing it down. It's not just basketball talk anymore, it's a cultural conversation. Now add relationship rumors into that storm, and it's like pouring gasoline on an already roaring fire. Suddenly, people aren't only talking about Clark's records or her impact on the game. They're dissecting who she sits next to at dinner, how long she spends smiling at someone, and whether a casual outing might actually be a secret date. For most 22-year-olds, figuring out relationships is just part of life. But for Clark, every step is magnified 1,000 times over. What should be private moments become public spectacles, debated by strangers who feel entitled to an opinion. And yet hidden inside this chaos is something almost revolutionary. The fact that Clark's love life has become headline material shows just how far women's basketball has come. Think about it. When was the last time a WNBA player's personal life dominated mainstream attention like this? It's rare, almost unheard of. The very fact that people care this much is undeniable proof of Clark's cultural impact. She hasn't just raised her own profile. She's elevated the entire sport, pulling in new audiences who now follow women's basketball the way they once only followed the men's game. Of course, this spotlight cuts both ways. On one side, it means huge visibility, incredible opportunities, and a level of influence that can inspire a whole generation of young athletes. On the other side, it's pressure beyond what most people could ever handle. Every outfit becomes a statement. Every friendship becomes a potential story. Every social media caption gets picked apart for hidden meanings. Clark isn't just playing basketball anymore, she's balancing the expectations of fans, media, sponsors, and critics, all while trying to live the life of someone barely out of college. And that raises a deeper question about fame itself. Where do we draw the line? It's natural to admire public figures and want to know more about them, but there's a huge difference between healthy curiosity and invasive obsession. And in today's culture, that line gets crossed far too easily. With just one viral post, speculation spirals totally out of control, and soon enough, the internet writes its own version of the story. Suddenly, Clark isn't just the hero of women's basketball, she's a character in a narrative she didn't even write. Still, it's worth remembering that she chose this path. Clark embraced her platform, leaned into the responsibility, and has carried the WNBA on her shoulders with absolute pride. She's built her brand on accessibility and inspiration, and with that comes attention, both the good and the overwhelming. She's shown time and again that she's capable of rising to any occasion. But the price of being a trailblazer is heavy, and for someone so young, the weight of living in that kind of spotlight is something older generations of athletes never had to face in the same way. Back then, stars worried about paparazzi or gossip columns. Now it's completely different. Anyone with a phone can snap a picture, film a clip, or post a rumor, and within hours, millions of people are talking about it. The speed of attention is ruthless, and the scale is unimaginable. Even a seemingly meaningless moment, a laugh, a glance, a hand gesture, can become the internet's next big talking point. And once those floodgates open, controlling the story becomes almost impossible. All of which brings us to the most fascinating part of Caitlin Clark's story so far: the tension between fame and privacy. She has the platform, the power, and the influence, but every day she risks losing pieces of herself to the public eye. So how does someone like her balance it all while staying true to who she really is? That's where things get even more complicated. And it all comes down to one tricky phrase: staying private. Now let's dig into the details of Caitlin Clark, balancing fame, privacy, and greatness. Caitlin Clark's rise to fame isn't just about her amazing three-point range, her incredible leadership, or how she's totally redefined women's basketball. What makes her story even more fascinating is how she's managed all the attention that comes with it. In today's world, Athletes aren't just judged by what they do during the game, they're also evaluated on how they carry themselves online, how much of their personal life they share, and how they balance being relatable with being reserved. That balance is something Caitlyn seems to have absolutely mastered, and honestly, it's one of the reasons she stands out so much. On social media, Caitlyn has been remarkably authentic. She shares just enough to keep fans engaged, giving glimpses of her personality, her life outside of basketball, and moments that remind people she's more than just a star athlete. But at the same time, she's really careful. She has clearly drawn lines around what she wants to keep private. And when you think about it, that takes an incredible amount of discipline. In an era where every post, every like, every caption gets dissected, knowing where to draw that line is almost like a survival skill. For Caitlyn, it's not just about avoiding unnecessary drama, it's about protecting her peace while still growing her influence. And get this, that influence is massive. She isn't just an athlete anymore, she's a brand. Every post she makes, every endorsement deal she signs, every public appearance she attends, it all feeds into how the world sees her. That perception directly translates into business opportunities worth millions of dollars. Sponsorships, advertisements, and media features are all tied not just to her skill on the court, but to the image she presents off of it. And unlike athletes of past generations, she doesn't get the luxury of trial and error. One misstep, one misunderstood comment, one post taken out of context could easily spiral into a much bigger problem. The digital age is unforgiving. Screenshots live forever, clips can go viral in seconds, and narratives can be built before she even has a chance to explain. But here's the flip side. All of this attention also proves just how influential Caitlyn has become. The fact that fans care about what she wears, who she spends time with, or what she shares online isn't just nosiness. It's proof that she's totally transcended sports. She's not just a basketball player anymore, she's a cultural figure. People don't just want to watch her play, they want to feel connected to her story. That kind of influence is rare, and in women's sports, it's absolutely groundbreaking. For decades, female athletes have struggled to gain the same cultural spotlight as men. Caitlyn Clark has completely flipped that script. She's become someone young girls can look up to, someone networks simply cannot ignore, someone who forces people to pay attention. Her cultural relevance pushes women's basketball into new territory, into mainstream conversations that once seemed impossible. And yes, while the scrutiny of her personal life might feel exhausting for her, it's also a big marker of how far women's sports have truly come. Still, it's really important to remember one thing. Behind the headlines, the social media theories, and the endless speculation, Caitlyn Clark is a real person. Fame doesn't cancel out humanity. She still has emotions, relationships, and private struggle. And as much as fans might crave every detail of her life, she deserves her space. Respecting her boundaries is part of supporting her. The best thing anyone can do is cheer her on for what she does best, dominating the game and inspiring future athletes while letting her decide which parts of her life she chooses to share. Because at the end of the day, Caitlyn's greatness isn't defined by who she's seen with, what posts go viral, or what rumors swirl around her name. What makes her truly special is her talent, her work ethic, and her ability to carry women's basketball into a brand new era. She is too focused, too disciplined, and too determined to let the noise derail her. Every distraction, every whisper, every rumor, it all fades compared to the legacy she's building. This just shows how strong her influence really is, and how closely fans follow her every single move.